Hi everyone, my name is Nate Miller and this is my introduction video. I'm currently a 4th grade teacher at Wickersham Elementary School in the school district of Lancaster. This is my 7th year there. My concentration is ACTE, Integrative STEM Education. Some of the hobbies that I like to do outside of work and school. I love spending time with my family and friends. On the right there, you'll see a picture of myself and my daughter Maggie. In that picture, she was 12 months old, but right now she's about 15 months. I love going golfing. I like going to the beach. I'm a huge Philadelphia sports fan. And the most exciting thing is we are expecting a baby boy this upcoming April. So there's going to be 2 little ones running around. In regards to our questions that we had to answer for our readings, for the first question, of the 4 stages that Mills and Spencer outline, I feel that developing an action plan will be the most difficult. Even though these are things that we use on a daily basis, I feel that developing an action plan is challenging at times just because we've all felt that I don't know what else to try feeling before. As educators, we're always able to identify areas of focus. We consistently collect formative and summative data, and we analyze that data to make our instructional decisions, and we do this on a daily basis, whether it's documented or not. However, making those decisions isn't always as simple as it seems, especially when you've exhausted numerous ineffective strategies for teaching specific skills. Now, this wouldn't necessarily be with your whole class, but like if you're working with a small group of students who need individualized instruction, and you try, say, 5 or 6 different things and you're still not seeing the results, that can be frustrating at times. So because of this, I feel that developing an action plan could be the most challenging of the 4 stages. In regards to our second question, the biggest obstacle that I see with making action research a daily teaching practice is time. Mills goes on to actually explain that the invested time and energy dedicated towards action research is beneficial, and that it's not just another thing to do. But in the back of my mind, it does feel like it's another thing to do, and this is just from personal experiences with action research. I'm a firm believer in data analysis and reflection with our instruction, and I integrate these concepts into my daily instruction. However, throughout my career, it feels that the peered supervision action research that we have to do for eye observation is more so an added formality than it is truly beneficial to our instruction. For example, my action research this year is centered around word problem instructional strategies. My grade level team and I have taken some risks with word problems. We made some changes based on things we've done in the past and actually got away with some of the strategies, actually most of the strategies that we're supposed to teach with our curriculum. And the data prove that some of the strategies that we've tried are effective while others are ineffective. So in this case, you can see that it was worth the time. However, the time-consuming portion of this is the formality of documenting our conversations on eye observation. So we're required to, every time we meet, document our notes and pretty much just write everything that we talked about. So in that way, because of the documentation, it feels like it's more busy work than it is actually beneficial conversation about our next steps, because we're more so at times worried about just making sure we submit what we need to, rather than actually working together to develop our next steps and going from there. And then of Ferentz's 2 stories, the story that resonated with me the best was Rebecca Wisniewski's, because she conducted her research with 4th grade students who are ELs in an inner city. Since I teach 4th grade, I have many ELs in my class, and I teach in an inner city, so I connected pretty quickly with her research and the findings that she had. One of the biggest challenges that I'll face with our action research is identifying the focus area that I want to research, which seemed to be what Wisniewski and her team's initial problem was as well. As you can see, that as we read, they just kind of had through different discussions, and then they eventually came to the common goal of attacking EL's literacy skills. So throughout the research, they developed a newspaper for students and their parents to engage in. This specific story resonated with me just because the question, the research, the action steps that were taken, just the way that they developed with their action research plan and everything, and how they came to the inquiry that they wanted to work with. It seemed genuine, and it seemed that it catered to the specific students. And that's just one thing that I really want to make sure that if I'm going to put in these next 15 weeks into action research, that it is something that's going to benefit my students this year and in future years, as well as it benefiting myself just with my teaching practices and everything as well. But one of my biggest concerns with conducting an action research project with my class is time. And I'm thinking specifically this year, especially with our course. Since my wife and I are expecting, I'm going to be out on paternity leave for at least 3 weeks in April, April, maybe beginning of May. So my biggest concern with this project is more so having the time to collect all the data that I'm going to need, as well as being able to be back in school within the time period of our course to implement our action steps. So that would be my biggest concern. I look forward to working with everybody this semester.